Hello, I am the narrator, and before this episode begins, Maddie, George, will be talking about a bug-like creature that takes the form of a human. Without further ado, let the show begin. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maddie, and today we're going to be talking about the blowflies. What is it? And did it come from a movie or a video game? Now we're talking about the blowflies from Resident Evil 8, also known as The Village. So these blowflies come in two forms. The first one is one of the three sisters who looks like a woman dressed up as a nun that has a hand sickle. The second is just a swarm of flies that are impossible to kill, but can easily kill you. They don't move that fast. Moreover, the daughters seem to have short attention spans because interesting individuals should be able to shake them off after just a few rooms. Yes. Second, these blowflies, the individual fly is about 5 to 6 centimeters long. So it's itsy bitsy. It's probably the actual size of a blowfly. But don't quote me on that. Eat it with a pound of salt, why don't you? They are carnivorous and vigorous custom meat. In order to catch unsuspecting prey, they'll gather using pheromones and mimic a human. The flies are like a subspecies of the Kadu, which is a creature in the game. Let's be very clear with that. That is what it looks like. It looks like a brain. So the Kadu lays its eggs in a body of some sort, whether it's an animal or a human, and it forms the blowfly. Yeah, super gross. So Resident Evil 8 starts off, where the main character is finally free from his torture of, like, all this craziness, and he is settled down with his wife and has made a family. But it wasn't long until his little baby girl got kidnapped, and he's on a journey to rescue her because you parents. Dedication. So he starts off with a monster-infested village that was then going into the giant castle, which I believe is where the main character stays in there most of the time. And he's on the search to find his baby, which is rumored to be hidden in the castle somewhere. Once the tall lady is dead, that's whenever you kind of start fighting the other 4 bosses, each with their individual powers. So of course, first, technically, not counting the sisters since they're kind of mini bosses, the tall lady her power is like these Wolverine-like claws, as well as she's just extremely strong. Second, we have another woman who can control dolls with her mind, as well as just having an obsession of mannequins. Third is a hunchback man, that is very fish-like and becomes a giant sea monster. Very cool. Fourth is another man who controls metal with his mind and has also been, like, creating cyborgs. And then, of course, lastly, which is like the main boss, the the big boss, is of course next, and she often goes by Mother.
The interview. How close is it related to the inspiration?
Hello, Maddie here with the interview, and I'm here with a gamer. Ah, yes. I play games, and Resident Evil 8 was one of the many games that I did. So what can you recall about the three sister flies in this game? Oh, but Lady Dimitrescu. Oh well. So the three sisters are, they're weird. That's a given. They're kind of put into the game as kind of like mini bosses inside the castle, which is where I stayed most of the time. And they basically have plot armor to where, unless you get to a certain point in the game, you can't kill them, but they can kill you. And just like, you know, either in their human form or their bug form, you just go through that swarm and they just eat you. But yeah, you basically fight them one at a time, by first unlocking puzzles to get further into the game, and then, you know, you take them out. I don't know, I think they were kind of put into the game, it mentioned where they were like three random girls. They weren't related to each other at all, but they were part of an experiment with carnivorous flies that like started to eat their body and take it over, and they became like super hungry all the time. It's weird. Thank you for your time. This has been Maddie with the interview. Back to the main show. So after doing some research, this may seem unusual, but the blowflies, we believe, in the game, is inspired by robber flies. Even though blowflies are an actual species of flies that exist in the real world, we believe that the robber flies are actually more connected based on their lifestyle. For instance, they are both carnivorous flies that hunt in swarms, and yeah. Also, down in the description is a video of Markiplier. You know him? I bet you do. Plays Resident Evil, and of course there's cussing, and it's a little bit of a horror game, so there's a little bit, you know, body, gore, bloods, that kind of stuff. But also, the timestamp is 1930, I believe, is whenever he starts to meet one of the three sisters and does like one of the boss fights with them. Or you can just watch the whole thing, why not? It's fun. Are you ready for your part? Yes, it has been a long time since I've been a part of this. It has been, hasn't it? But I think it's even more exciting is because this is going to be like your first time making a video about bugs, which you haven't done yet. Oh yeah, I never thought about it that way. Good morning, everybody. My name is George, and today we're going to be talking about robber flies.
Information about the animal and what it looks like.
Now, robber flies can often be described as flies, of course, with very elongated body, as you can see there, with either brown or black or gray fuzzy fur, just like fuzz on them, kind of like a bumblebee. They also appear to have like a dent right on their forehead, right next to their eye.
Where they live, how long they live, and how do they get their food?
The robber flies tend to live in island chains, if that makes sense. So, taking a look at Hawaii, all those like chains of islands, this is what it is, as well as south of China. Now, they also live in other areas like dry desert areas. I said areas way too much. You're welcome. Let's see. Oh. Wait. The Roverfly's max life is... It was kind of short. The fly has a very short lifespan. Right. Just a year. Only a year. Max. Guaranteed. Old age, gone by a year. Azaletes seize their prey in flight and inject their victims with saliva containing neurotoxin and pyruvase enzymes. These injections rapidly immobilize prey and allow digestion of bodily contents. It's a very disgusting way to describe it. Roverflies have toxic spit that melts the insides.
What they eat, and what are their predators? Its scientific name.
Alrighty. So the Roverflies are insectivores, which basically means they hunt only bugs. Yes, I know it's a bit of an oxymoron that they hunt bugs, and they are also bugs. But that's not the point. I have a list here of bugs that they eat. So without further ado, spiders, wasp, flies, other flies of course, bees, grasshoppers, and dragonflies. Now the Roverfly's scientific name is... I thought I had it, but I forgot it. Azalete. That's right. Thank you, Doctor. Azalete. A little bit of a fancy name.
Its mating habits and some random facts.
Egg-laying habitats depend on the species and their specific habitat. Most species lay their eggs in masses, which are then covered with a chalky protective coat. Roverfly larvae in verminate environment. A very common instinct many insects have just to mass lay their eggs. But this one's a little bit different, of having a protective coating for their baby flies.
The difference between male and female, and what is it related to?
There is actually a bit of a difference between the male and the female Roverflies, but it's very slim. There's barely a difference. So the females, they have a bit... What was it? Come on, try and remember. It has something to do with the abdomen. What's known as a broader abdomen. So their butt than a male. They have a bigger butt than the male. There are approximately 7,003 described species of Alacidae. Description worldwide. Nearly 1,000 North American species are Roverflies. The number of insects can easily outnumber the quantity of animals on Earth. So, unfortunately, that is the end of the episode. If you are fascinated by both the Blowfly sisters from Resident Evil or the Roverflies, there are links in the description that go more into detail about all of the information we found about it. If you've enjoyed, leave a like, and have a nice day. Good night. Bloopers. I'm pretty sure it's just me because I'm the goofy one. I got nothing else to say. I'm nervous. Alright. Maddie, camera 2, Resident Evil. Okay, so now, the main premise of this game is that... Nope. Was not supposed to start. Okay. Cut all of that out. Ignore what I said. Rainbows. Good chow. I think that was it for mine. Right here. Yeah, because then it goes back to camera 1. Okay. Well, admire my buns. You know what's funny? I went to school with these on, and people thought that that was actually my hair. Which is crazy, because there's no way that it could be like this. My hair could be that floofy. It's crazy. Ka-chow. Okay. I don't know why I've been like Lightning McQueen. That's like my catchphrase now, is just ka-chow. Maybe also, even though my real catchphrase is kidneys. Yummy. So, yeah. This is Maddie versus George, Resident Evil. I should have really taken a break and got something to drink, because my mouth is a bit cotton dry. Okay, are you ready for your part? And cut. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm laying it out flat and dry for you guys. They got the big hadonka bonka donk. This is the end of the video, end of the video, end of the video. Pew pew. End of the video, end of the video. This is the end of the video. Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew. End of the video, end of the video, end of the video. Oh oh.